of the actions, interviews with the athletes and experts in the sector on Liberia's exclusive sports online television, Intel Sports. Sports cross sports news live on Intel Sports at these times. Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midway Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Beyond the live conversation, the analysis and discussions with the stakeholders, players, and fans live and direct on Intersports. Weekend Wrap comes your way every Saturday from 10 to 12 midday. Join your presenters, Elijah Pine and Edwin Batafoyan, live and exclusive on Intersports. The exclusive sports show is a 1-hour conversation with policymakers, stakeholders, and direct actors in the sporting sector. The exclusive sports show brings you face to face with those who make the news in the sporting sector of Liberia. Join your host, Julius Compton, every Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. for the program, The Exclusive Sports Show, live and direct on Intersports. Beyond the live conversation, the analysis and discussions with the stakeholders, players, and fans live and direct on Intersports. Weekend Wrap comes your way every Saturday from 10 to 12 midday. Join your presenters, Elijah Pine and Edwin Batafoyan, live and exclusive on Intersports. It's new, factual, reliable, and professional. That's Sports Today on Intersports. Watch all of the actions, interviews with the athletes and experts in the sector on Liberia's exclusive sports online television, Intersports. Sports Cross Sports News live on Intersports at these times.
Hello and a pleasant welcome on today's midweek edition of Sports Today. 30-minute presentation of local sports news in the world of sports in Liberia. Let's bring you the headlines covered up for today's edition on Sports Today. Liberia Football Association president announced the increment in the awards and cash prizes for the Upper Women League as well as the First Division League of Liberia. Sami Kamara unveiled by Grand Cape Mount County ahead of the National County Sports Meet, leaving Bon County in doubt. And Edwin Batafoyan to contest as vice president ahead of the Liberia Sports Writers Association vice president by election to be held in Liberia. This is a more development or package on our today's presentation on Sports Today. Thank you for this break. Be right back with more details of our headlines.
It's new, factual, reliable, and professional. That's Sports Today on Intersports. Watch all of the actions, interviews with the athletes and experts in the sector on Liberia's exclusive sports online television, Intersports. Sports Cross Sports News live on Intersports at these times.
Welcome back. Let's bring you more details on our development. Liberia Football Association is set to roll out 2,000 branded bash balls ahead of the league season. The initiative spearheaded by the RFA aimed to promote Liberia's own football brand and enhance the visibility of Liberia identity. This marks a significant step in the association effort to support home ground initiative and also to establish a stronger national football brand. The neon bash balls are exclusively designed under the Liberia Football Association own branding and will be used across various competitions. The assertion was made by the Liberia Football Association president on Tuesday through a media engagement. Then I'll bring you the presentation from the Liberia Football Association president. Meanwhile, the Liberia Football Association president disclosed that Upper Women League clubs will now receive the amount of 1,500 United States dollars for medical and educational purposes for the upcoming league season. At the same time, said the LFA have stressed that LFA, along with its executive committee members, have agreed on the increment of both First Division and Upper Women League Championship Cash Prize Award. According to Rajiv, the First Division League champion will now walk away with 6 million Liberian dollars, and the Upper Women League champion will now walk away with 5,500 Liberian dollars. And also, Sami Kamara of Bon County have now been unveiled by Benket Mount County ahead of the National County Sports Meet as well. Regularly announced in and around Bon County, the county is set to announce and unveil former Jubilee FC coach. It's another way around. They have led the team in a hard expectation and signed for his mother county. Sami Kamara is known for his boastful coaching, will now lead the green and white boys of Benket Mount County to the National County Sports Meet with hope of winning the tournament this season. And at this point, like John, we have to call on Anthony Kuge. But before then, let's bring you more development on our bulletin. District now crowned champion of LFA Mosoral County District League following an entertaining moment against defending champion District number 7. Following the championship, the Development Council chairperson of District number 9 praised the team for their performance and described the win as first of its kind, which is a boost for the country. Edwin Butterfly, as SWAT vice presidency, vowed to tackle corruption. Intel Sports reported Butterfly has announced his intention to contest for the vice presidency of the Liberia Sports Writers Association. Butterfly said his decision is driven by need to address what he described as poor leadership within the association following the recent resignation of Vice President of the Liberia Sports Writers Association, Christopher Walker, over corruption allegations. He pledged to prioritize transparency and accountability if elected, stating that any corruption in SWA will be at the core of his leadership. According to him, with his leadership, he is determined to contest for the vice presidency position in SWA. The issue of poor leadership in SWA was in, according to Edwin Butterfly. Let's go for this break to be right back with more pictorial for our newsmaker. Welcome back. Let's bring you the actual videos as well as voices of our newsmaker. Liberia Football Association has set out to roll out over 2,000 branded badge of football in the upcoming league season. Speaking with schools of sports journalists and the headquarters of the Liberia Football Association, the president of the LFA, Mustafa Rachid, disclosed this said amount.
The Liberia Football Association also, as part of our own vision to strengthen the LFA and to build a better future for those who come after us, to be more innovative and to now introduce a and consider the thought of going commercial. So we'll be launching very soon our own match ball branded totally for Liberia, purely Liberia, but to compete with other match balls around the world. Gone are the days, and very soon we are going to get rid of using other brands that are not supportive of the Football Association. Our brand can be compared to all other brands out there to be one of the best. So we are moving forward as approved by the Executive Committee to cover the cost of production of the first batch of balls, more or less around 20,000 balls that we intend to bring to Liberia, to distribute in a way to our clubs and to also put in the general market in Liberia, hopefully out of Liberia. The process is to also move forward to apply for the FIFA Basic Series and later in the future for the FIFA Pro Match Balls. We believe in this way is a matter of gaining and developing, distributing, and creating a subsidy for equipment to our clubs, at the same time reinvesting money gains as profits from the sales of those balls into our football program and bringing more equipment into the country.
Meanwhile, the Liberia footballing president have disclosed that in the upcoming league season, the Upper Women League clubs will receive the amount of $1,500 to be used for medical and educational purposes.
The Executive Committee, during its meeting on 8 August 2025, met and with its focus and our aligned to our women's football development strategy, approved an amount of $1,500 that will be paid to each of the 12 women's upper league teams as part of its commitment to strengthen and develop women's football in the country. Those clubs will have to apply for the payment to address 3 key areas: sporting equipment, medical, and education. The Audit and Compliance Committee of the LFA will send out the final documentation the clubs concerned will be required to apply for these fundings.
At the same time, disclosed that the executive committee members, along with the president, have agreed on an agreement of both First Division and Upper Women League champion cash prize award. According to Raji, the First Division League champion will now take home $6 million Liberian dollars, while the Upper Women League champion will now walk away with $25,000 as award for the championship.
The Liberia Football Association Executive Committee also take into consideration the growth and development of football, the commitment from each and every one of our stakeholders, views and opinions, recommendations from members of the press and other citizens, sought to focus on the prize money's increase. The Executive Committee for the period 2025-2026 League's National League season decided to increase the cash awards for First Division from $20,000 to $30,000, and also to increase the cash awards to the First Division and the top women's upper league division team from $20,000 to $25,000. We believe that this amount is going to further help grow, strengthen our clubs, bring more competition amongst the clubs to ensure a better performance or financial stability when they participate in inter-club competition. Today we are happy and grateful to thank the visionary leader, President Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who, as Senator CAF, has brought a lot of difference at the level of African football. Through the visionary leader, he also launched the CAF Executive Committee, approved a payment to all clubs participating in the inter-club competition, both for CAF Cup and CAF Champions League, around $100,000 to clubs that will be eliminated from the preliminary rounds of the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League. We believe with the beginning at our level of increasing this amount, competitive in our zone of West Africa and other parts of the world, we think is the best way to go in terms of making our leagues attractive and bringing more competition into our football.
In a surprising turn of events, Samin Kamara has been officially unveiled as head coach of Green Cape Mount County ahead of the upcoming National County Sports Meet. Kamara, who was worded rumors to take over the coaching role for Bond County, has been expected to be announced and unveiled by the county. However, he has instead opted to join Green Cape County, leaving fans and football stakeholders in Bond County in shock. Known for his boastful and confident coaching style, the former Jubilee FC coach will now lead the Green and White Boys of Grand Cape County with high hopes of guiding them to victory in this year's tournament. Kamara's appointment brings renewed ambition to Grand Cape County, who are aiming to make a strong push for this year's title, according to the team. At this time, we'll now join veteran sports journalist of the Liberia Sports Record Association, Anthony Kokwe, who will talk to us concerning his take on the happenings as well as new development on the angle of the Liberia Football Association. Anthony Kokwe will join us and talk about this new development on the aspect of the Liberia Football Association equipment in the Upper Women League, First Division League, 1,500 United States dollars to be given to Upper Women League Club for educational as well as health purpose. Anthony Kokwe join us now on the line. Anthony, good morning.
It's a pleasure doing your broadcast.
You were in person yesterday, Liberia Football President Mustafa Raji announced some developments in line of the increment as well as development at the level of the Liberia Football Association. Tell us your take about this entire development.
Well, it's a good initiative for the formation and development of our football. And this is something that this administration is committed to, evident by the fact of what it has been doing since 2018, in line with its goal of developing football at all levels. So football goes beyond the pitch, and it's not just about teams going to play or perhaps the national team qualifying for AFCON or World Cup. So every aspect of the sport needs to be developed. That's what this administration has embarked on over the years. So yesterday's announcement on the increment in cash prices for the rural leagues and additional subvention payment to women upper division clubs are all meant to increase the competitiveness of the first division and the women's upper division, and it's a gradual process. So other leagues or divisions are not forgotten. So as time goes by, other initiatives are also going to be earmarked for those divisions as well. So like you said, the 1,005 additional subvention payment to women's club is coming from the CAF Impact Program Funds, as a program that CAF launched recently that we as a football association are benefiting from. So even though there were criteria given to us that this percentage, like 30%, should be used for women football development, competition, and other administrative purposes, the Football Association, through the executive committee, thought it wise that instead of us using it or using everything just on the administrative purposes, which are also fair enough, but to also add it to what the clubs are receiving from the FIFA Forward Fund. So that sum up the total to 7,500 that each upper women division team, that's 12 teams in the upper women division, will be receiving during the league season. So as we have also seen the inflows of foreign players, foreign coaches into our first division league by teams increasing the competition, the executive committee also thought it wise to increase the cash price. So all of these have been done without sponsorship. So that tells you that once the league gets sponsorship, the clubs are going to benefit more from cash awards. So like I said, it's on the right footing, and it's all meant to develop and improve our football at all levels.
This level of this 1,005, I'm kind of concerned about the educational purpose. Are they mandate be given to the clubs that they should be used, and evidence of that should be shown?
Well, the Audit and Compliance Committee will come up with strict requirements, but those requirements should focus on 3 key areas, including sporting equipment, medical, and education. So in the requirements, the clubs are going to apply for it. So in the club applying that the 1,005 that we are applying for, we want to use it to purchase sporting equipment for our club. And these are the sporting equipment we want to purchase. It costs this amount. So after you have been given the money to purchase those sporting equipment, or perhaps medical equipment for your team, because maybe you already have the sporting equipment that you purchased on your own, but now you need equipment for your team medics and medical staff those evidences will be provided that yes, these are the materials that were purchased, these are received from this store or business area that we bought it from. I mean, it's all meant to be in compliance, like we as the Football Association also do from those fundings that we receive from FIFA and CAF. Once we say that we gave or we provided, let's say the 1,000 plus the total to the 12 clubs, there must be evidences that we provided this amount to the clubs. So the clubs are also going to be contacted by our CAF or FIFA relative to that. So the same way we are in compliance with FIFA, that's how we want for the clubs to also be in compliance as well.
You as a sports journalist, you've been into this sporting issues for long. What does it mean for our sporting sector in terms of this huge increment as well as development at the association?
Well, it's huge, and these are things that other member association also want to see, and they were interested to know that the increment we just did, we are far above other member associations relative to women's football and even the male division as well, and even the subvention. Not many football associations in this region are request provide what we call subvention to clubs. So they only provide year-end cash reward that is based on your position at the end of the season. You receive a cash prize. However, for our end, there is a level amount or equal amount given to all teams regardless of their position, and not at the end of the league season, but in two phases, the first phase and the second phase. So those are financial assistance that help these clubs during the league season to reduce some of those financial burdens instead of you waiting at the end of the league season to get those financial rewards. And moreover, there's something that we also have to understand that when it comes to football, it's business. So those clubs are not non-profit clubs that are truly depending on the football association. Those are institutions, business institutions that were opened by individuals or group of individuals to make business. So they are not just depending on the cash price or the subvention that is coming from the football association. That's why you have to get your fan base. You have to brand your team well. That when you have sale of jersey, you have sale of ticket, you're also going to generate revenue or funding from those areas as well, including the sale of players when you are fortunate enough to sell players either on the local scene or on the international scene. And with the LFA giving 100% to the club, not like before where you sell a player and whatever amount comes, the FA is entitled to this amount. The FA is getting 0% of whatever amount you sell your player with to a club either internationally or locally. So that's a huge boost for our clubs, and it's something that we all have to take advantage of and not just depending fully on those funding that come from the Football Association.
Thank you so much, Anthony. We'll let both of you have no time in our favor. As a first side, we will now dive you through our last development year ahead of the Sports Writers Association Vice President by-election. Edwin Batafoyan has announced his intention to contest for the vice presidency in the Sports Writers Association by-election. Batafoyan said his decision is driven by the need to address what he described as poor leadership within the association following the recent resignation of vice president over corruption allegation. He pledged to prioritize transparency and accountability if elected, stating that any corruption in SWAT will be at the core of his leadership. Yes, Edwin Batafoyan in conversation with our reporter.
I do believe that SWAT need a better leader, and I'm one of those you can count on as a better leader. There have been a series of bad leadership practices in SWAT since the election. Since the integrity team came to power, they been doing things that are not right, things that are not good for sports journalists. You know, in Liberia, we have a mentality that you should be old before you occupy a certain position. We do believe that some veterans of our sports journalists in Liberia, they are not doing well for us. And we as a younger one, it is time that we come together, we hold hands together under one umbrella and unite to change the livelihood of our sports journalists or sports journalism in Liberia. We have observed several things. You know that sports journalism in Liberia started ages ago, and we have not been seeing that kind of journalists from Liberia that will be at the international stage. Many thanks to those who got accredited in 2024 to go and cover the African Cup of Nations. It was my first time to see that more than 2 Liberian journalists taking the bold step. Tikla Wesley, Yusuf Sharif, August Akina Do, Edwin Batafoyan. We were part of those who that got accredited, and then later on we saw Clark Wesley being promoted to a CAF Media officer. That's a big boast for Liberia in terms of sports journalism. These are teams we want to see. We saw Sylvester Tama, Jahin Tumu, Thomas Kojo were all in Ghana covering the All African Games the other day. These are teams we want to see. We want to see Liberian journalists, the young one, taking the bold steps, going to the international area. On SWA anniversary, there was a series of promises made. People pledged. There were several pledges, and then by Kassel Kou, the president of FC Fasel, gave some money the other day, and I asked the financial secretary. She was not in the note of such a money. So the vice president, Christopher Walker, resigning today. Trust me, I believe that Christopher Walker resigned because there are huge corruption in SWA. And yes, I believe that Christopher Walker resigned because there was no room for reconciliation whenever there's a corruption in SWA. So whenever he said this, the president will always say the other way, or the secretary general will always say the other way. So I believe that under my leadership, if I request that the president should do this and he refuses, I will bring it to the public. I'm going to tell every sports journalist that I requested for us to do this, and the president refused for us to do this instead of doing this. Now he has done it the other way, and it's not working the way it's supposed to work. So I should.
If you just joined us, many thanks for following us here on Intel Sports Today. 30-minute presentation of local sports news content in water sports in Liberia. Before we let you go on the segment of the midweek edition of Sports Today, let's bring you the headlines. RFA has stressed names of equipment in the upcoming league season of First Division League winner, as well as Upper Women League winners of the 2025-2026 season. Sammy Camarade being unveiled by Grand Cape Mount County ahead of the National County Sports Meet, and Edwin Badafoye to contest vice presidency in the upcoming election of Liberia Sports Record Association. These are the developments we have on this segment of Sports Today. Many thanks for following. My name is Elijah Pine. Bye-bye.
It's new, factual, reliable, and professional. That's Sports Today on Intel Sports. Watch all of the actions, interviews with the athletes and experts in the sector on Liberia's exclusive sports online television, Intel Sports. Sports Cross Sports News live on Intel Sports at these times.